Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Impact Wrestling Slammiversary pay-per-view results. Dated July 22nd, 2018. Airing from the Fight TV network from Toronto, Ontario on the Rebel at the Rebel Center. The video package opened the show. It focused on the wrestlers and how they showed their regular voiceover guy who sounds a lot like James Earl Jones. Josh Matthews and Don Callis on commentary. Four-sided ring. Had yellow ropes. And they're normally in the six-sided ring. Match number 1, Petey Williams versus Johnny Impact versus Chachi Ishimori versus Phoenix in a four-way dance. Matthews noted that Williams was a late replacement for Rich Swann, who suffered a concussion at Thursday's MLW event in New York. Matthews noted that it was a tornado-style match with everyone allowed in the ring at once. There was a loud Impact Wrestling chant to start the match, and there was also a welcome back chant as Impact and Ishimori squared off in the ring together. Phoenix performed a terrific flip dive onto Impact, and Williams around the 6-minute mark that drew holy crap chants from the crowd. A Bones Holder chant broke out as Ishimori performed an Asai moonsault onto his three opponents at ringside. They missed part of the move live, but it was replayed at 9 minutes 10 seconds. Phoenix hit a cutter on Impact and had him pinned, but Ishimori broke up the pinfall. Ishimori then performed a gut buster on Phoenix, and a short time later had him pinned, but Williams broke that up. All four men ended up standing in the ring, and they all traded kicks until they were all lying on the mat at 12 minutes. In the end, Impact hit Starship Pain on Phoenix and pinned him to win the match. So Johnny Impact, formerly Johnny Mundo, formerly Johnny Nitro, and John Morrison defeated Petey Williams, Taji Ishimori, and Phoenix in a fatal four-way dance in 11 minutes. Broadcast team then spoke about Johnny Impact throwing out the first pitch at the Toronto Blue Jays game earlier in the day as photos were shown. Footage aired of King Eddie Kingston giving the OGs, Homicide and Hernandez, a pep talk heading into their tag title match. And they are formerly known as the previous LAX. Video package set up the Tessa Blanchard versus Ali match. Tessa versus Ali, as the fans gave Ali a nice hometown pop. The women jawed at one another in mid-ring. Ali then performed an early dive from the middle rope onto Blanchard on the floor. Callis noted that it wasn't pretty, yet it was effective. At 6 minutes 20 seconds, Ali hit a Death Valley driver at ringside. Both women returned to the ring as the referee was counting them both out. So they got in at 9. They traded shots in the middle of the ring. Ali got the better of it and performed a backstabber, lung blower for a 2 count. Blanchard came back with a hurricanrana from the top rope for a 2 count around 9 minutes. Blanchard then went for a senton from the top rope, and Ali rolled out of the way. Ali performed a code breaker, but Blanchard rolled to the ringside after taking the move. Ali rolled her back inside the ring and covered her for a 2 count. Blanchard then rolled her over for another 2 count. Ali connected with a super kick for a 2 count. And then Ali showed frustration over not getting the pin. Similar to Alicia Fox. Went for another DVD, but Blanchard slipped away and performed a hammerlock DDT for the win. And another 11-minute match. Backstage, Alicia interviewed Moose. He recalled saying that he would be Impact World Champion in 2018. He said there's a saying in the NFL that if you feel good and look good, then you play good. He said he had a good breakfast and he looked good. He said he would kick Austin Aries' butt and then the nation would chant Moose. A video package recapped the insanity of the Eddie Edwards and Tommy Dreamer saga, and that match was up next. Eddie Edwards versus Tommy Dreamer in the House of Hardcore Rules match. Dreamer entered the ring after Edwards, and then they went right at one another. They quickly fought to ringside. Dreamer pulled a cookie sheet out from underneath the ring, slammed it over the head of Edwards, He also pulled out a trash can. Edwards ran the ropes and set up for a suicide dive, but Dreamer threw the can at his head around 2 minutes. Edwards came back by whipping Dreamer head first into the ring post. Edwards then pulled out a staple gun while the fans chanted, "You sick F word" at him. Dreamer blocked the staple gun with a kick, then took it and tried to use it on Edwards, who returned the favor with a kick. Edwards went for a sunset flip. Dreamer leaned down and stapled his forehead. Edwards bled from the forehead. Dreamer got an ECW title belt from a fan. Dreamer kissed the belt and then slammed it into the head of Edwards for another round of ECW chants at 4 minutes 45 seconds. Edwards came back and struck Dreamer with a kendo stick until Dreamer cut him off with a cutter. Dreamer hit Edwards with a kendo stick several times. The Dreamer placed Edwards over a couple of chairs that were set up in the ring and then went to the ropes. Edwards cut him off with a kendo stick. Edwards barked at Dreamer about talking to his wife. Dreamer cut off Edwards with a low blow and then performed a DVD from the ropes that drove Edwards through the 2 chairs in the middle of the ring. It was a safe bump with the chairs simply splitting apart from one another. Upon impact from Edwards, Dreamer covered Edwards for a 2 count. Then Dreamer slid a chair inside the ring and poured lighter fluid onto the table. Edwards hit Dreamer with a low blow and then gave him a DDT. Edwards placed Dreamer on the chair and then delivered a Boston knee party that apparently drove the chair into Dreamer's face. Edwards pinned Dreamer for the win. Eddie Edwards beat Dreamer in the House of Hardcore in 11 minutes 10 seconds. After the match, Edwards acted emotional as he fell to his knees. Dreamer then shoved Edwards away. With Edwards being emotional in the corner, Dreamer offered him his hand while the fans booed. Eddie's wife, Alicia Edwards, came to ringside and encouraged her husband to shake Dreamer's hand. Edwards and Dreamer shook hands and hugged. Dreamer held the handshake and then pointed the kendo stick at Edwards. Dreamer eventually gave Edwards the kendo stick, while Callis said it was like a passing of the torch. Edwards put the kendo stick between his teeth as Dreamer and then Alicia went to the back. To the next segment. A pre-taped Matt Seidel interview aired. He said he sees through Brian Cage and the shell he has erected around himself. He said Cage has never figured out that the most powerful muscle is his third eye. Seidel said he was completely confident that the X Division title would still be his. A video package set up the X Division title match, which was next. Matt Seidel versus Brian Cage for the X Division Championship. Masters noted that Seidel has held the X Division title for 136 days. Seidel approached Cage and told him, "Open his third eye." Cage performed an early standing moonsault for a 2 count. Seidel went to ringside. Cage leaned between the ropes to look for him. Seidel returned to the ring behind him and kicked the back of Cage's leg. Seidel then took over Cage on the ropes in the corner. Cage shoved Seidel over the ropes to ringside. Cage then slammed Seidel on the apron. Cage went to the ropes, but Seidel cut him off with a kick. Seidel performed a running drop kick in the corner, then knocked Cage to the floor. Seidel then performed a double knee press off the apron, then held his right knee. After performing the move, at 6 minutes in, Seidel caught Cage running the ropes and powerbombed him for a 2 count. Cage came back with a pump handle slam for a 2 count. Seidel threw leg kicks and then a kick to the head. Seidel performed a neck breaker for a 2 count at 7 minutes 20 seconds. Seidel went up top, but Cage avoided the shooting star press. Cage turned Seidel inside out with a clothesline. Cage went for a powerbomb. Seidel countered it with a step Hurricane Rana for a near fall. Seidel went up top, jumped at Cage, who caught him. Seidel countered into a pin for a 2 count. Seidel threw a knee to the head. Seidel went for a shooting star press. Cage moved to Seidel's feet, hit the ropes on the way down. Cage performed a drill claw and pinned Seidel clean. And Cage defeated Seidel to win the X Division title in 9 minutes 45 seconds. Backstage, Alicia waited for Austin Aries to finish a call before interviewing him. Aries said he was doing a little business and apologized. Aries said Moose has been waiting for this moment his entire life. whereas he has been doing this his entire life. Aries said D'Angelo Williams won't be there, and that's because he took care of it. Aries said Moose's mom won't be ringside because he just took care of that. The video package set up the knockout title match, which is up next. Su Yung with Undead Bridesmaid versus Madison Rayne for the knockout title. Undead Bridesmaids brought a coffin to ringside. Young emerged from the coffin. Rayne went out to meet her on the ramp and eventually tossed her to ringside to start the match. Bridesmaids returned on the ramp with the coffin at first, and then a couple of them walked to the ring and stood on the apron and were motionless as Rayne pushed them down to ringside. At 4 minutes in, one of the bridesmaids held Rayne from the apron. Young attempted to spray mist at Rayne, but she ducked. The bridesmaid took the mist in the face. Young pulled out her bloody glove, but Rayne performed the cutter for a 2 count. Rayne performed the raindrop for a 2 count and showed some frustration over not getting the pin. Rayne set up for a move, but Young reached up and applied the mandible claw with his bloody glove. Rayne passed out, and the referee called for the belt. And that match took 6 minutes 50 seconds, and Su Yung retained her knockout title. After the match, Young rolled Rayne onto the apron and had the bridesmaids open the casket. Young picked up Rayne and placed her inside the casket to end that segment. Undertaker style, they probably closed the casket and pushed her to the back. Conan fired up Santana and Ortiz in a backstage pre-tape segment. Video package set up the Impact Tag Title match. LAX of Santana and Ortiz with Conan versus OGs of Homicide and Hernandez with Kenny King, or The King, and a 51-50 street fight for the Impact Wrestling Tag Titles. There were 2 trash cans filled with weapons set up on the apron next to the ramp. Matches noted that the OGs emerged from the clubhouse and questioned whether it's symbolic that they have already taken over. Santana and Ortiz wore black and white face paint and got off to a quick start. There were tables set up against the post, and 2 were slid inside the ring and set up on opposite corners. Homicide and Hernandez came back with trash can lid and cookie sheet shots to the head of LAX. Hernandez performed his big leap over the top on both opponents at ringside. King threw a bottle of Drano inside the ring, the budget-conscious economy size, but it didn't come into play right away. Supermix had a small cut on his forehead. Hernandez caught Santana leaping off the back of his partner in the corner and powerbombed him for a 2 count. Ortiz brought a ladder from the stage area and threw it inside the ring. LAX placed Hernandez on the ladder and then performed double team dives on him. LAX hit the double team neck breaker on Homicide from the top rope. They had the pin, but Hernandez dragged the referee to the floor. Supermix did his shoulder block, then knocked Santana to the ringside. Homicide did a big somersault suicide dive that drove Santana through the table on the floor. Back in the ring, Ortiz performed a Death Valley driver that put Homicide through one of the tables in the corner. Homicide flipped him off. Ortiz set up for a move, but Hernandez returned and broke that up. Then performed a border toss through the table. Santana returned to superkick Hernandez and performed a cannonball on him in the corner. Santana and Hernandez did an awkward back into each other's spot and then traded punches. Santana superkicks Homicide, who came right back with an elbow to the head. Conan stood on the ring apron. Homicide set up for his finisher, but released Santana to spit in the face of Conan. Homicide and Conan jawed at one another. Conan threw a big back attack to Santana, who threw some in the face of Homicide, and then slammed him into the pile. Santana performed a frog splash onto Homicide, who was lying on the tacks, and then pinned him. And that match took not as long as the other matches, but LAX defeated the OGs in the 51-50 street fight to retain the Impact Wrestling Tag Belt. After the match, King entered the ring and hit both LAX members with what appeared to be a sock with something inside it. The OGs held Conan while King hit him with the weapon. They sprayed the Impact Tag titles to apparently read OG. but it was hard to make out. The OGs left with the tag title belts. Seems like they're trying to do the NWO style take the belts thing. An ad aired for the Global Wrestling Network app. Sami Callihan pre-taped an interview. He said no one is giving him a chance tonight, but he said Pentagon will go down on his knees in front of him when he removes his mask. Pentagon Jr. with Sami Callihan in a mask versus hair match. Callihan entered the ring and looked down at the leftover lighter fluid from the Dreamer versus Edwards match. Callihan did his thumbs up, thumbs down bit. Pentagon responded with his own catchphrase. Callihan blasted him with a kick to the face. Pentagon returned the favor with a super kick. Pentagon opened the vest of Callihan and slammed his chest with an open hand slap. Callihan rolled to ringside while selling the hurt chest shot. At ringside, Callihan took a glass and tried to hit Pentagon with it, but he moved and the glass struck the ring post. A short time later, Pentagon ran the ropes for an apparent dive, but Callihan hit him with a chair from the floor. Callihan went under the ring and pulled out several chairs and threw them inside the ring. He also placed his baseball bat in one corner of the ring and he gave the fans a double middle finger. He pulled out a pair of spikes from under the ring, placed them in his teeth as he entered the ring. Callihan tore the mask of Pentagon and the fans booed. The fans chanted "A-hole" at Callihan. Pentagon sat up and said "Cero miedo," meaning zero fear. Callihan jabbed a spike at Pentagon, who then bled. Callihan tied Pentagon's mask to the ropes and then grabbed a baseball bat. Pentagon kicked him away a few times to free himself before hitting a backstabber. Pentagon then picked up the spikes. He pressed one against Callihan's forehead and tapped it with the other. Callihan bled. Pentagon teased doing it to the referee. Pentagon placed a spike against Callihan's head and they hit him with a baseball bat a couple of times. The fans chanted "Holy crap" in response. Pentagon threw one of the spikes to Callihan and the motion for him to come on. Callis challenged other promotions to keep up with what was Impact doing tonight. Pentagon and Callihan hit each other repeatedly with the spikes until they both fell to the mat. Callihan had an old school crimson mask. The fans chanted "This is Impact." Next up, the wrestlers had a chair duel that resulted in both men on the mat while the fans chanted "Fight forever." Callihan got back on his feet and took a pair of super kicks. Pentagon followed up with a backstabber for a 2 count. Pentagon set up to break the arm of Callihan, who ended up kicking him away. Pentagon threw a chair at the face of Callihan. The Chris brothers came out for an apparent interference. Pentagon saw them coming out and knocked them both off the apron with a chair. Callihan threw powder into the face of Pentagon, who acted blinded and struck the referee. Pentagon broke the referee's arm, with the idea being that he thought he was Callihan. "I can see I have legs." Pentagon realized his mistake. Pentagon hit his finisher, but the referee was selling his arm. Naturally, Pentagon was pissed at the guy whose arm he broke. Callihan gouged the eyes of Pentagon and performed a pile driver onto a chair. The second referee ran out and made the count. Pentagon kicked out. Callihan set up 4 chairs in the middle of the ring. Callihan brought Pentagon on to the chairs and they were both standing. Pentagon gouged the eyes of Callihan and then performed a package pile driver onto the chairs for a near fall. Pentagon acted stunned and the fans chanted "Holy crap" again. Callihan motioned for Pentagon to bring it. Pentagon responded with 2 super kicks. Callihan flipped him off. Pentagon kicked him again and then did the arm break spot. Pentagon followed up with another package pile driver and scored the pinfall. Well, winner of the match, Pentagon Jr. So he has to have his hair cut. And the match took 18 minutes 15 seconds out of our lives. Well, after the match, Callihan dropped to his knees, held his arms. Chris brothers, who both had their arms in slings to sail past Pentagon attacked Pentagon from behind. Callihan ran to the back. Phoenix and Impact Security walked Callihan back onto the stage. Pentagon then cut the hair of Callihan on the stage while Phoenix held Callihan's arm behind him. The razor worked better than most in pro wrestling head shaving angles. Matthews and Kyle set up the announcement video package that Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory will be held on October 14th in New York at the Melrose Ballroom. And that'll be your next live event on pay-per-view. Video package setting up the main event. Ring announcers introduce Major League Baseball player Curtis Granderson of the Toronto Blue Jays. Moose made his entrance. Austin Aries was out second. So your main event, Austin Aries versus Moose for your Impact World title, was up last, and there were in-ring introductions for the title match. Aries gave the belt to Granderson, who showed it to both wrestlers and then took it to ringside. Aries slapped Moose early on. Moose responded by grabbing him by the neck and tossing him into the corner. Moose chopped Aries, who went to ringside and sold it by falling down as Moose was running towards him. Moose ran Aries into the guardrail at 3 minutes 25 seconds in. Moose charged Aries, who ducked, and Moose went over the guardrail and into the crowd. Even this drew a holy crap chant from the still hot crowd. Aries rolled Moose back inside the ring in 4 minutes 30 seconds. A short time later, he trimmed Moose down and performed a couple of running drop kicks in the corner, and then covered Aries for a 2 count. Aries came back, set up for a suicide dive, but Moose hit him with a forearm from the floor at 7 minutes 40 seconds. This looked to be like a thing of beauty, as Aries appeared to intentionally hit the ropes so he would bounce backwards. At the same time, Moose hit him at 8 minutes 40 seconds. Aries applied the last chancery. Moose reached the bottom rope to break the hold. They fought on the apron. Moose connected with a headbutt, but Aries came right back with a Death Valley Jobber on the apron. The hardest part of the ring, Moose stood up, and Aries caught him with a suicide dive at 10 minutes 10 seconds in. Moose hit Aries with a big boot against the guardrail and rolled him back inside the ring. Moose set up for a move in the corner, but Aries pulled the referee in front of him. When the referee turned around, Aries hit Moose with a low blow. Aries then set up for the brain buster, but Moose reversed it and hit one of his own. Moose speared Aries and had him pinned, but Aries reached out and grabbed the bottom rope at 11 minutes 50 seconds. And by the way, the longest match of the night so far. Aries tried to leave. Moose caught him on the stage. Aries thumbed Moose's eye. Moose powered up Aries and threw him into the crowd, where a few security guard tights broke his fall and tumbled to the ground with him. Moose brought Aries back over the guardrail. Aries clotheslined Moose with the top rope. Moose caught Aries with a big boot. Moose went for a big dive over the top rope. But Aries moved and Moose landed on the stage. Aries delivered a discus 5-arm to the back of Moose's head. Short time later, Aries performed a brain buster on the floor at 14 minutes 40 seconds. Moose beat the ref's count as he returned to the ring. Aries immediately greeted him with a kick to the head. Aries went to ringside and took the title belt from Curtis Granderson, who followed him into the ring and took it back before he could use it as a weapon. Moose rolled up Aries for a 2 count. Aries kicked him in the head again, hit a brain buster, and scored a clean pin. Austin Aries pinned Moose to retain the Impact World title at 15 minutes 50 seconds. After the match, Aries glared at Granderson, who handed him the title. Aries sat on the middle rope and motioned for Granderson to leave the ring, which he did. Aries taunted the fans as he celebrated with his title belt on the ramp as Matthews wrapped up the show, and that concludes my results for this 6 months of pay-per-view results for GFW Impact Wrestling. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on be. If you don't know, just call me, brother.